Hi, my small change friends. It's good to see you here today. I'm Mailani, and I love helping women get stronger in mind and body by means of fitness, specifically incorporating strength training into their fitness routine. Women of all ages, especially women that are navigating that menopause stage of life. I know I'm right there with you. So that's what I love to do. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I love to share my techniques, my stories with you, and I hope it benefits somebody out there. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my nutrition approach. I've been asked, what do I do? How do I eat? How do I go about that? And while I am not a nutritionist, not a doctor, I advise that you go, when starting on any new diet or fitness routine, to go get your doctor's clearance and get that all taken care of first. So today I'm just sharing what I have found that is very useful to me. And so that is called flexible dieting. And I come from a very disordered young adulthood as far as my eating, disordered eating. And I have been on so many diets through my lifetime. That disordered anorexic bulimia young adulthood turned into just a lifetime of crash dieting roller coaster, which is its own eating disorder in its own way. And I just found, when I got into my 40s that I didn't know how to eat. Either I was on a diet or I was gaining weight. There was no in between, and I was so frustrated and I felt so weak. I was following diet industry standards and, all the suggestions and new science and new fads that came out with that. I did low carb, I did no fat, I did HCG, I did just plain old juice fasting for 21 days. I did so many things and ruined my metabolism. All the while, I always believed in strength training, so I was trying to do strength training during all of that, but in actuality, all that dieting was causing me to lose muscle. I was a mixed up mess. So in my 40s, I started really researching myself, doing some therapies, and I found this approach of flexible dieting, which I fell in love with. So I went on an adventure to really heal my metabolism, to learn how to eat and feed my body what it needed so I could, in actuality, build muscle, which included eating more food. And it has been working for me for the past 2 years, and I just love it. This style of eating works for almost any diet, so whatever way of eating that you are following, it can work for you. I mean, if you're vegan, it can work for you. If you're following all organic, it can work for you. If you're diabetic, it can work for you. Whatever eating style that you prefer, counting your macros in flexible dieting can work for you. And what that does is it has helped me to understand what ratios I need of the different macronutrients, which are carbohydrate, protein, and fat, what ratios I need to help build my body. I am always on a chase to build more muscle. As I age, I'm 50 years old, and I know that ladies our age are losing muscle, so I am trying to combat that with building muscle. So I need to eat to feed that goal, to get that goal. So the flexible dieting approach has helped because I just track what I eat, especially if I'm on a losing fat stage, a cutting phase, which I'm on that right now. So I track my macronutrients, and what I suggest is to find out where you are calorie-wise. I did that through some trial and error. Then finally I just slapped on a Fitbit and wore it for 3 months, 24 hours a day, except for taking a shower and when I had to charge it. And I found out what my calorie expenditure was, the average of that. So I got that number. I cut a certain percentage, and I find that I can lose fat and lean out on 1,800 calories a day. So I plug that number into my Fitness Pal, And then I go into the tools and I manipulate my macronutrients to 40% carbohydrate, 30% protein, 30% fat. That's what I found that works for me to build muscle and to keep my appetite a little bit more under control, and it feeds my body for what I need. So the beautiful part about it is I can choose the foods that I like instead of in the past taking somebody else's meal plan and going to the store and buying everything that's on that list of foods so I could be on my diet for the next couple weeks, month, until I got so sick and bored of it, or just realized I didn't even like those foods. And then you don't stay on those diets. So in reality, this is a lifestyle choice. I want to eat foods, whether I'm bulking, cutting, or just maintaining. I want to eat the foods that I like. That's the only way it's going to last for the rest of my life. So you get that diet, you're on it for a couple of weeks, you realize you hate the foods on it, you can't stand it, and then you binge, and then you're back on that roller coaster, and it's not a lifestyle choice because you can't live that way. So my approach is to live in a way that is going to get me to my goals, maybe a little bit slower than a crash diet, but they're going to get me to my goals, and then I'll be able to maintain it. So I'm not on that constant high and low as far as gaining and losing weight. But I can pick the foods that I want according to my calorie count for the day and the macronutrients. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together, and you learn how to figure it out as you go along. But I've found that, one of the challenges that some women have with this approach is they find out where they're at as far as their baseline, and they realize, wow, I'm not eating enough protein to get my goals, and they have to start eating more protein. Well, one of the things that I have found is when I do start putting more protein into my diet, it gives me a satisfaction level. I'm fuller, that satiety level is higher, and then I'm not craving the carbohydrates like I did in the past. So I'm not like looking at it as, oh, I can't have carbs. I am looking at it as I want to make sure I get enough protein, and oh, I'm more satisfied, so I don't really want as many carbs. Not to say that carbs are, outlawed on this, because you do have carbs, you need that balance. But it just showed me that getting the right nutrients in my diet kind of evens me out as far as my appetite is concerned. Another thing is you're going to want to be conscious of your fiber, making sure you're getting enough fiber and you're getting enough water. Especially if you're trying to lose weight, you want to make sure you're getting enough water. So one thing that I figured out, it was like an epiphany through this flexible dieting approach, is there's not really bad foods. I mean, there's bad nutrition, of course, high fructose corn syrup, partially hydrogenated oils, those kind of things are just bad for you. But I'm just talking about, your carbs, as far as, you might go on a run of just eating super clean foods and entering it into your fitness pal and you're doing great. And then, you have a week where you just want something sweet, or you want that cookie. Well, the cookie, I've learned, isn't a bad food. So I'm not a robot. If I was a robot, I could just put in the foods that I know would make my body run perfectly and keep on going. But I'm a human being girl, and I have emotions, I have hormones, I have family, I have friends, I have get-togethers I like to go to, and I like to have food. And so how do you make that all work and still get to your goal? Well, that's where flexible dieting has helped me make responsible food choices. I always suggest whole, natural foods, lean meats. If you're a meat eater, I am a meat eater. Organic, if I can. I can't always do organic, but I like to do that when I can. I want to give my body, especially aging, give it the most nutrition that I can give it. But sometimes, like I say, I'm going to want that cookie. But you can still make it fit into your macronutrient equation for the day. Does it mean you can eat anything and everything that you want and still reach your goal? Absolutely not. You still have to make choices that are going to benefit you. The flexible dieting just gives you the leniency to pick foods that you like to eat. You're not on somebody else's diet meal plan. which so much of us are used to, you know, the tilapia, chicken, brown rice, broccoli for 2 weeks and you'll lose, you know, 10 pounds in 5 days. Well, you might, but then as soon as you get off that diet and start eating the foods that you really wanted to eat in the first place, you're going to binge and gain it all back and you're back to square one. And that's where I'm done with all that. So the flexible dieting has given me some peace of mind, flexibility. I can enjoy my family and meals and occasional glass of wine, a burger and fries occasionally. I just can't do it every meal, every day. I make choices, but I'm okay with that. So anyway, that's what I do. I hope that that was helpful. I believe in making smaller changes in my life so that I can maintain them, so I can get bigger results. I have seen it work for me, and I want to share it with all of you that are interested. If this isn't something for you and you found something that works for you, great, and I'm so happy. I just am sharing this in case you're still searching for something that might work for you. You might find it helpful and get those goals that you're looking for. You know, as we're aging, we don't have to give up on ourselves because we've hit that whatever 50-year age mark. We still want to feel good. We still want to get out there and be active. We still want to feel like we look good. And we might not be our 20-year-old version of ourselves, but why can't we be a work in progress and still feel good about ourselves? I think that's totally possible to do at the same time. We're able to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. That's what I think. So I hope you all have a good day, and I want to do some more videos on exercise. And if you have any questions, if you have any ideas about videos, please comment below, and we will catch you in the next video. Okay, keep making those small changes. Have a great day. Bye.